Okay, hi guys. Coach Tingle. We're going to talk a little bit about rides and clears. Okay, so here's our field. Here's our net. All right, here's our net down this end. Here's the midline. All right, here are your string lines. Okay, so we're going to talk about clears first. So goalie makes a save. All right, here's what we want. Okay, we want two defenders. Right, and you'll decide beforehand who's making the move, or you can do it on the fly. We're going to banana out. All right, so we're even with our goalie like that, okay? Awesome. Even if the ball goes out of bounds, if it's an end line, we're still doing the same thing. So two goalies on the side, okay? Our other defender, all right, that's playing close defense is going to go towards our box and go right here, all right? So he'll go away to our box. The LSM, all right, or long stick midi, or pole, they're also going to go up the field into our box. Now, as you're running up the field and off, all right, be looking up for the ball, all right? Okay, great. So he would come over, go into the box. We would get a short stick midi on the field, all right, on this side, okay? And then what we do is with our short stick is we go opposite our box with our shorties, okay? So they would go short stick midi, they would go up and out. All right, first go up, and then as you go out, you're looking for a quick outlet. We would love to not even have to ride. If a goalie makes a save, we can just get a quick outlet and we're off to the races. That'd be the best situation, right? Not even have to clear the ball, okay? But he would go up and over, right? So we have a midi right here. Then our opposite midi would do the exact same thing and go over here, all right? So this spreads out the defense or the riding team. All right, so we have 3-2-2, and then our attack, I like to get them away and out of it as much as possible, except for at least one guy. So we have this option. I like doing this, all right, with one attackman to be in the middle of the field coming over. As soon as this midi goes over the midline, or this LSM that comes off, and then midi goes on, that can free up our attackman, who's usually guarded by a defender, right, to go over and cut for the ball either direction. So we have that as an option as well, all right? Now, it should be simple, right? We have an extra player, all right? So we have an extra man than they do, all right? So goalie's going to walk it up if he has time, move it over to this guy. There's an open player somewhere. It's just about finding that open player and moving it up the field. All right. If this defender has no, or our defense has nobody on him, we want to stretch the field and keep going up. Right, we want to go up with the ball as much as possible to advance it. All right, so which means if he's coming to you, he would go over as well. All right, as soon as the guy that's playing him goes to play him, it's just an easy pass over the top, right? And we keep going. If this guy would play him, it's just another easy pass over this way. If nobody plays him and he can just run it up the field, he would just run it up the field. This guy would go through. The only trick to this is that this midi would need to stay back if this defender goes and this defender goes over the field as well, okay? Excellent. All right. Good. The other thing that we could do is hit this attackman going over as well. We just have to be really smart about making sure there's enough players on the field or on our side, okay? So that's our basic Navy clear. There's some other clears out there that work pretty well, but I like running Navy clear, this clear the most. Okay, another clear we could do that I don't typically like to run, right, is we could do the same thing with our defense, banana out. Our other defense comes to the box right here, right, and then we can, or you can just stay right here, right, if we need to, we can get him off and put a short stick on, right, if we need to, right, but not typically, right, so defense would be here next to the box just as an option, and then what we would do is have one midi go here, right, and one midi go here, and then after this LSM gets to the box, we would send that midi here, right, so it just changes it up a little bit more options with two midis in the middle, and then what we could do if the ball goes to this side, and he's running up the field, just like we talked about, we could always just sub this defense out, get a midi over here, so when he comes to play him, we get it to the short stick. Now, the only thing with this is if we do get a midi on the field for this close defender, right, we would just have to keep this midi back then, right, as he goes over, then he would run off the field, all right, and get our defensive guy back on. All right, so that's another option. We call that Maryland clear, but I like running the first one, Navy clear, the best. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about riding, right? There's a bunch of different rides that you can do. My favorite ride, right, when we're trying to prevent them from clearing is just a simple drop. So we just drop our attack to this restraining line. 1, 2, 3, and then we drop our midfielders 1, 2, 3. So this creates a really tough gap to try to get over, right? We have our defenders here guarding these guys. That is just a lot of bodies here in the middle to try and get open, okay? So what we do is we guard the guy in our space, all right? So if he were to carry the ball up and he enters into our space, then we would guard him and cover him, which would mean this guy would push through, but we have this guy here to guard him as well, all right? If this guy, Midi, were to run, right, and try to get the ball, we could stay with him, right? But anything back here, we let go. We want to stay in this area. When they start spreading us out, it's easy to create gaps to run through, but we stay with them up until this point, just a little below the restraining line, all right? Otherwise, if he goes over here and he gets it over here, that's fine, right? But he's still going to have to make it through all of our bodies, right? As he's running through, right, if he tries to just outrun us and go through, right, we would cover, right? This guy would be here, this guy would be here. Not a lot of places to go with the ball. Now we're double teaming him as he comes through, all right? So we want to just drop and just play the people in our area, right? That's a lot of bodies, okay? That's one type of ride, 3-3 ride, and I like that the best. Another ride that we can do is called the Tiger ride. All right, Tiger ride just means that we just lock off, all right, except for the goalie. All right, so we would just completely shut off everybody. Attack on this midi right here, right? This guy's a midi, right? And then we would go midi here, midi here, midi here. Just completely lock off. All right, everybody is covered except for the goalie. The only time we would ever jump on the goalie is if he runs it all the way up the midline. Now, if we do a good job of this, we won't, nobody's open. He can pass to no one, all right? So when we slack off, we get lazy, or we just jump the goalie too early, it's an easy pass and they can just run it out. So it takes a lot of discipline to run this. We completely lock off no matter what. That also means if they send this D guy over, right, or if we're guarding him, let's say this D guy goes over, but we're guarding him with an attackman, you would also go over with him, right? If they go over, we'll have enough people back, right? Because he would have to be over, and then our midi would stay back, right? It takes a lot of discipline to do this type of ride because we have to trust our teammates that they're going to stay back for us. So this is a lock-off ride, Tiger. That means no matter where your defender goes or your person that is playing offense goes, we're playing D, we lock off completely, all right? And then the last one would be a 10-man ride. We would only do this if we were losing, we need the ball back, where the goalie would pop out, play the furthest away attackman, the defense would bump up, he would bump up, right? Attack could go play the goalie, he would come here, or a defense would jump up, right? So we're just locking everyone off in that situation, including the goalie, and hope to get the ball back, all right? So those are our rides. Those are our clears. Let's do it.